So, good evening everybody. I wanted to play a little bit more Decisive Campaigns. I also updated the game. There is a new version in the Matrix forums that you can download. It is an unofficial beta version of the game. It contains actually some quite interesting changes regarding the main scenario, Wacht am Rhein. That Axis major victory, it didn't update the existing games, but the games that you start now, the fresh campaign, it is 200 victory points that constitute as a major Axis victory, whereas previously it was 150 victory points. But I guess they changed the scoring of the areas a little bit, so I bumped up to 150 victory points already. Then there was also some cosmetic changes regarding there was this one unit card that looked somehow awkward. Yeah, it was this one. Was it the grey? No, it wasn't. It was the M8 Scott, I think. This had some issues with the unit card. It had very strong white borders, but that was fixed. But yeah, and then there in the main campaign, in the Wacht am Rhein, you start the campaign so that all of the bridges on the border, when you launch the offensive as the Germans, or if you play as the Allies, all the bridges are blown up. So that's like the difference. And when I started, not all of them, not nearly all of them, I would say majority of them were left intact, or were they even all of them left intact when I started playing this. So that's definitely a major change for the pacing of the campaign, and some divisions are locked for the Germans. I remember that they were in my case when I started, but I'm not sure where all of them that I checked now, because so many seem to be locked. But those were the most drastic changes, and then there were also some changes about the Assemborn scenario, that Germans get some reinforcements there. Now that I'm thinking my movement, I think I made a mistake with the Panthers trying to go into this city position, because I just don't like the idea. Yeah, we probably win this, but it would take massive casualties, and I don't want to lose our Panther spearhead just for this one village that is not vital for the success of the operation. So yeah, we can get now back into the game. There weren't nothing else changed in the patch, but I think those changes that, yeah, Germans need 200 points instead of 150 for the victory, I think that makes a lot of sense, because I don't think this status where I'm right now constitutes as a victory. So yeah, I agree with those changes in that respect. But yeah, let's get into the business. I was planning to take Bastogne, and we are very close of getting it. a little bit unfortunate placement of my tanks. They are not on the right road, and there's this problem with the tool that if you point like this, it would say the movement cost to get here is 81, but in reality it's this one movement that is 40, but you can actually get it much less with a much less movement by first moving in here and then taking the highway and moving like that. So yeah, the game is not the smartest. I don't know, is that a coding error? Probably. Or it somehow prioritizes that, yeah, you can move directly. Maybe it just... So I agree that this kind of movement should be indicating that yes, you do the movement directly, you want to do it like that. But this move, I think it should be always the lowest cost route or route. So like that would mean going here and then here and that onwards. But yeah, we don't know about this unit. So I'm a bit wondering what should I do with this approach. This is also bothering me, but I don't know, do I pull just the Panthers back? And this was just a very fuel costly endeavor to go here and then go backwards. Because that's what it seems like. I'm gonna move the Panzer Grenadiers. Yeah, first of all we would have to know what is in there. It could be artillery, it could be anything, but I'm gonna move the infantry first. So we get some kind of a vision what is going on. Our recon is now 35 on that hex. Okay, we now see that it's just the Task Force O'Hara. 40 infantry, 30 rear area. Mixed troops in this unit. Shermans and Stuarts. Well, I'm not afraid of those guys. So I think the Stooks can probably continue on this road. Yeah. The Stooks can do that kind of movement. Yeah, we have some Werfers. Werfers could either do a good recon. There's just quite a small of a force. And here we start already paying the extra movement cost for the adjacency. So what is this cost? It's 41. We can't attack from that position. I'm gonna move the tanks, I'm gonna demonstrate. So here 40. Let's see, 13. This was 26. So yeah, just as a demonstration, it was 40 and it was 26 by moving manually like that. So you have to be a bit careful with those. Not to fall into the trap of using those suggestions. Yeah, like we can probe it, but what kind of artillery do we have available? Thus far, basically like nothing. I don't think we need necessarily anything. They have quite low entrenchment. These guys would be... There's more targets to hit. But there is the landscape modifier and we don't have a full barrage. We can't do a full barrage. I'm gonna do it in here. It's not gonna be as effective, but I should still try to do it. Oh, okay. We managed to take one anti-tank gun with that barrage. $144, so the range with these guys was 10 and these guys 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think they can do a full barrage from here. And I think I maybe should do it. Although in here we have 110 soldiers. 110, that's... We could do more damage. More damage against these guys. But hitting them is more risky. I want to see where's the Volksartillery? Okay. $43. I don't think I can get a better recon on them. The odds are now 5-1 when I bombarded them. Or I can just keep hitting these guys. And then attack here. Take this foothold, but then we would still have to do the river crossing. But then they would be in the open and I can use artillery. It's a little bit of a mixed bag. Of course, another option is that we leave the artillery after the attack when these guys are disorganized. And then bombard this hex altogether, maximize the casualties. But we don't know to which direction will they retreat. If they retreat northwards, then that is probably the best scenario for us. Because they would be trapped in here. I think I'm gonna do this anyways. Let's try to maximize enemy casualties. 50 men taken out, 50 veteran soldiers. That was quite good. They are much less scary against these pioneers who are basically on their own. And where are these guys? Shooting from here. Probably not gonna do a lot of damage. These guns haven't been that successful. But I'm willing to give them a barrage. Yeah, just 10 men out. Five to 1. Those are the odds that I can have against them. I think the Stuks and infantry can handle this mixed force and leave the tanks. Four to 1. Panzerlehr is... Yeah, well, it can't move, so... That is what it is. I could make the tanks contribute. But I would rather have them move and secure some of these areas. So let's actually check 1-to-1 ratio. I'm just thinking, should I reassign? Well, I don't think so. I don't think that's useful to do anything like that. Ranged attack. We have a lot of mortars in here. Mortars and pack-guns. These guys could do... They would have a direct line of sight if I just move them here. Which units have the best? They have 3, 4, they have 7 mortars plus those pack-guns. I'm gonna move them in here. I'm gonna switch ranged attack. Do it. Okay, 10 men taken out. I think that helped us a bit. Yeah, 7-to-1 odds. I'm ready. Okay, we won that. They are still combat capable unit. Now they are in this kind of city defensive position. All of those units have moved their maximum movement. .60 movement. I don't know. Can we? We can't probably hit them again. Ranged attack. Switch. No, we can't do anything else than a ranged attack. Let's see. How do I deploy these guys? Like, all I'm saying, I'm not willing to put them on march mode because that will lower their readiness so much, so I don't think that's worth it at this stage. Can we do anything meaningful? We should have maybe destroyed them out of here, but they are no longer like... Yeah, if had we destroyed them, the tanks could have moved even further, but I'm not willing to move the tanks to this heavy urban hex. I think we have to approach the city very carefully because we can't really see what is in there. gonna move the HQ in here. Kampfgruppe Holtmeier. Holtmeier doesn't have that many units, I think. If they get some mortar fire or something, artillery fire, they wouldn't be as badly hurt in comparison to this infantry unit. Also, we need to secure this. There is something in here in these woods. So I'm just thinking, should I send the pioneers in here? I think I should. They should just spend this turn chilling in here. And this HQ is now blocking the other side. Okay. The Greif team could actually even move now. It could move further in here, or it can alternatively go this direction. Because it's no longer needed in this position. I think we want to, if we can, delay the American reinforcements that are coming from the south towards Bastogne. Because they are arriving. And yeah, I forgot to mention that they increased the recon that the Greif team jeeps provide. This somewhere in here. Recon points. Or was it just that it's recon points 1 for the Greif units? But yeah, they still can't really see a lot. The weather is also affecting, of course, that they can't see that much as they would maybe like, but yeah, let's try to get them to this heavy forest. They can wait in here. And now that we got this information, we can move these guys. These guys in here. Should I send the flak guns in this open hex? I have no idea if enemy has a lot of artillery in this area. This is my most exposed unit. There is 2 infantry and Jagdpanzers in the same hex. And I don't like that. We can only perform ranged attack. I'm counting on it that the visibility is still relatively low. They can't really see what is happening behind here. So bear in mind. This is something where I would like to be, but I'm really not sure is that smart. Lack of knowledge is bad. Really bad. And we use the recon points for these panthers in here. But okay. But I would rather have the infantry contributing. So they go there. And to get the flak guns in position, I think they need to be a bit forward. I'm gonna take that risk and put them in here. This might soften the enemy a little bit. Just 2 rounds of combat by everybody. But maybe I want to keep the panzer artillery still in marching mode, so I'm just gonna use these two. But we probably won't hit anything, and it's only 2 rounds of combat. Yeah, nothing was hit. But maybe it served a purpose. We want to reduce their readiness as much as possible. Five to 1. Yeah. This is the best we can get. 5 to 1 odds. We could do recon in force, but recon in force typically it's a bit mixed bag. Panthers in the city, this is also, well, let's give it a go. We might lose 4 panthers, but am I willing to lose those 4? That's the big question. Is it worth it? Or are we just fine by tying up the enemy forces in here? Because that's also quite okay, you know. Just tying them up that they are not delaying us anywhere else in the front. I don't necessarily need to attack that position. Nobody is forcing me to attack that position. Getting even here, we would have a high ground advantage. But we can't go there. Can't get there. Yeah, I'm not gonna sacrifice the panthers. There is a couple of tanks in there. It would be city combat. But if I check the bazookas, there is just 2 bazookas in this unit. 2 bazookas, 4 bazookas, 1 anti-tank gun. There isn't really a lot of equipment that can pierce us. It's only these 8 Shermans. So 5, 8, 13. There's basically 17 units that can hurt us. Let's do it. So it was 3 Panthers that we lost. 4 half trucks. 1 Panzerschreck. Yeah, I kind of expected that. Let's look at this. So the smaller unit capitulated, of course. Our roll, attacker's die roll was 1. Unit die roll 6, yeah. So the combat was... They were not doing their best in the combat. And then a couple of our units retreated. Retreated during the combat. But yeah, they lost a lot of stuff. How about their tanks? Are they mostly intact? Couple of Shermans. 1 Stuart. Okay, and they retreated north side. Well, that's excellent. I'm not gonna do the river crossing now, I'm just gonna... They can try to blow it up, but they don't really have the manpower to... And we can always cross this secondary bridge here. But yeah, they are now in retreat. Apparently there was actually 3 units. So we didn't even have the full recon. There was... Or is this... No, this is another unit. There is the veterans that have been in here. They finally relocated to this hex. Okay. I think we could press on the attack. And do the destruction of these units. These guys have no entrenchment, these guys have a little bit entrenchment, but their readiness is bad, vigor is good. Do basic attack with the tanks. 1 Panther lost. They are still alive. So in total we lost 3 and now we lost 1, so we have... In total we lost those 4 Panthers that I thought that we would lose. So I don't know, was it worth it? Yeah, but these are the units that probably will not hold when we advance. I'm gonna leave it to Kampfgruppe Gutmann to clear this out next turn. I just have no knowledge what is in Harding. Sadly, our recon is not good enough, so I'm not attempting to move in there. But yeah, Bastogne in this turn, midday, December 18th, it's not gonna happen, sadly. We are 1 hex away from Bastogne, or we could have even moved the Panzer unit into this heavy urban tile, but because we can't see what's inside, I don't want to get the tanks into an ambush, so better leave them be. This is very vital that we take Hufalis, because I noticed the supply situation for Kampfgruppe Bonn is really bad, because they are supplying the units via these dirt roads. And nothing is coming through, basically. So they have a lot of ammunition, but they just lack gasoline. Or they can't, in this turn, they can't move further. But they have, I can check it, unit details, fuel 113 out of 1200. So yeah, gas is the problem. They have a lot of ammo, they haven't been fighting that much, so. Then I have also these Werfers. I think the Werfers should be moved. Fuel cost is not that high. The readiness decrease will be much more significant if I move them regularly. So I'm gonna sacrifice fuel for readiness in this case. In the next turn I'm gonna be barraging these positions with those Werfers. And we are also in this sector, close to Fielsalm. We could even do a barrage, but I want to know about my unit supplies. They are almost, they're like more than halfway replenished. And they don't have a, they have only -7 supply attack modifier, so they have a tiny debuff on their attack value because they don't have all of the supplies that they need. These guys, well, rest of their division is moving already in here, so they just have to catch up. I'm gonna move them in here. I'm not gonna do this kind of movement because I don't want to overburden the road system. Because this is the, well, we have this road too, but I think this is the key route for supplies to these guys, so. And I'm gonna move the infantry unit to protect them if they somehow would get attacked. So the rest of the units can remain in marching mode or march mode. Nebelwerfers. These guys would be needed, I would say, in this sector. Probably not that much use. This is just artillery units in here. I think infantry take them out. They were pretty badly hit, but they've been able to recuperate for a couple of turns. So let's move those guys out there. How about the horse team? This doesn't really matter, they go on foot. It's gonna take a long time for them to reach the front. The units are already moving in there, the artillery is lacking now behind. I'm a bit scared that there might be like one hidden unit in here, so that's why I'm not gonna take that route. But this is very exposed. If there is an enemy spotters in here and they spot our units, they can call artillery strikes on this road. Maybe there is no enemy units in here. Maybe I'm too paranoid about that. We can get the headquarters a little bit closer to the front if we like. That could be actually a good idea. The main units are in here, but it doesn't matter that much, so. Okay. How about these rear area units that are now really behind? And there is this enemy unit that has been located. I think I could maybe take it out with this horse team. There's only those 6 bazookas. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna move the artillery. It's needed elsewhere. Also, the leg infantry has to move. I'm gonna try to take them out with four rounds of barrage. 1 truck taken out, okay. Well, at least they can't move that well anymore. Last turn we had a couple of markings on these lines about supply problems, that there was a concealed enemy unit in here, but doesn't appear to be the case anymore. Maybe they disintegrated if they were like wounded units that didn't have their full combat strength anymore, so that can happen, that they just disintegrate and decide to flee, basically. Volksgrenadier Division. Their units are basically everywhere in here. The HQ has been lagging behind, truly. And then I have these trucks. I'm probably not gonna move this unit anymore. It's already causing some traffic problems on along this road. That's not really good. Well, it's causing traffic problems anyways, even though it's just doing basic movement. There has been, I guess, so many units that have moved through in here. I'm gonna move these guys in here. Use it as my transport unit. Attaching the unit into the transport and then moving them. They couldn't move as much, but I think their readiness shouldn't go as low as it would otherwise go. Yeah, it's 23 is readiness, those guys that have been marching through. So that's the good thing about using the transport, that you don't lose readiness. And you of course can get them further. I think I'm gonna try to get them to the main road rather than using the one that has traffic jams. I think I'm gonna have to move these core headquarters to forward. Okay, we have a lot of artillery. Now we can get to the interesting stuff. Yeah, there is one enemy unit here. I think it's a strong engineer unit. 3 units in here. I think this is gonna be a tank unit. Whereas this is apparently just infantry. And we had the flak guns in these guys, so I think they can handle themselves. I don't know how easy would it be to go through this heavy forest mud. But I know that tanks have, was it minus 35? Or is it minus 50 modifier? Fighting in heavy forest. But okay, I'm kind of interested. On getting to these high elevated positions in here. But there is a big risk. I'm not sure is this risk worth taking. Because these are heavy forests and getting to these tiles is really going to be difficult. So I'm just thinking, is it worth it or should I just move? I think Hansen should be going north. Like, if we are completely clear, I don't think there is that much to gain going through this route. That is okay for foot infantry. But yeah, the foot infantry, if it could go here, I would move it. The pioneers, they can't even move that far, so I'm keeping here. This is even too big of a force in my point of view. Lot of AA guns in the forests. Doesn't really make sense. I think Piper's AA guns should start moving in this direction. I'm gonna take Hansen. Hansen can go to Malmedy. Okay, there is a lot of enemy artillery in here. That's how many? 3 artillery. AA guns. 1 pure artillery, other one is more like AA guns. But they are basically now trapped. And we can get to the high ground. Okay. I guess I was wrong. This is not a tank unit. This is the tank unit. Or then there is 2 of them. That's the other option. Okay. Because I know I can cross here. They might shoot us though, because there's partial visibility. But there's nothing in this hex, so we can get there unopposed. But okay, this is getting interesting. We have to figure out what we're gonna do. We are gonna get a very friendly barrage if when we move to these fields of mud. Or that's at least my expectation. I can give them the recon card. And I think I will. I'm just gonna move them. Or should I do it with somebody else? The pioneers. Pioneers, they don't have the proper HQ to do the card. How big casualties are we looking if they shoot a barrage on us? Probably pretty bad. But I'm gonna be using both of my werfers in here to this one position. That's for sure. I'm gonna move them. Other option is of course that I move them here, but they can probably locate me. Okay, they couldn't do it. I'm gonna give this guy the recon card. So if it would give us the extra recon. 70 recon on this hex, that's really good. What kind of combat odds are we looking at? 1-to-1. Yeah. It could do a probe. We would have 90 recon then, because each round of combat is 10 recon. Okay. The werfer. No return fire expected. Where are these guys? They can't even use all of their equipment, so no, you are not using anything. 10-to-1. Do it. Okay, that was really nice. They lost a ton of equipment. 30 rear area 7 howitzers, 10 are still operational. They have 1 mortar, 2 AA guns taken out, and then trucks and jeeps, and yeah, 1 truck with a machine gun. And now the attack odds are 2-to-1. But they are still a scary force. Let's not underestimate that. Maybe with the pioneers a head-on attack. What kind of readiness values are we looking at? 26. Well, that guy. Those are gonna be. And these have 39 because they lost so much. These have 64. Yeah, it's those tank units that are gonna be difficult. Even though we have the pack guns. Our readiness is so low, it's giving us quite bad modifiers. But we have the high ground. High ground modifier. The pioneers take this position. He could even move these infantry out and put the pioneers in their place. Because the good thing about pioneers is that they can dig in much better. Because I would rather not lose like direct artillery attack. What would be the casualties? 200 men? Possibly if it's a successful barrage. I'm gonna take these guys out. They did their job, they did the recon, they did the hard part. And I wanted to see could I have done the attack on them. I think we now need to secure both of these sides. And I think Nittel could go here. 2nd Infantry Regiment to the Light Forest. With Hansen. Sandik into Malmedy. Fallschirmjägers with the backguns either to the heavy forest or into the city. Maybe into the city is better. And then get into combat readiness. Pioneers. Well, we have a lot of options for the pioneers. Okay, these guys can still move forward. Well, Hansen. Which one has a higher readiness? Well, Hansen has a better readiness, so Hansen can then move there. Like, is this a fair fight? Like, I'm a bit worried. There's so many. Do they have fireflies? That's my worry. 76. No, they are not fireflies. Luckily. But I don't know how well can we do in a fair tank fight. Because I kind of want it to be like unfair. I want there to be Etzers, I want there to be backguns. I can of course go to this high ground position. So then I kind of leave it open for them to do their thing if they want to, but that's one option. But here if we stay in this side, we kind of risk that they will not let us. And I don't want to take 25 minus modifier. So I'm gonna move them. They are gonna be here. They are protected from this side. I can even move these guys even further. There is that heavy forest in there. I would pursue that heavy forest position. We would be looking for going in Rancor jumps, and then we would take the southern route, or we can push forward to Spa. This is supposed to be an empty hex. Light forest, heavy forest. I want to keep them this close that if a tank battle is about to happen in here, we have all of these equipment that can be sent, and these guys will be sent through the highway. I'm gonna move the HQ into Malmedy. We have some, yeah, we have this artillery that is lagging behind. My god. Been firing a lot of barrages though, so it's been really useful in here in Elsenborn, but we would now need it in the other sectors, so I might just I'm gonna put it on wheels and send it in here. And I'm gonna... What kind of equipment do we have? We have some flak guns. Yeah, the HQ could even fight. Yeah, I'm not gonna take it out of the combat mode. If it needs to fight, I will bring it to fight against the Shermans. Could even go to this junction, you know. Could be on this side. That's not that bad of an idea. Put the HQ there into the forest. Tanks are in here. And okay, now we can turn our heads into this situation. Or what am I gonna do with the pioneers? The pioneers could dig in here in the high ground. Because I don't think they see this unit in here. Or the pioneers can conceal themselves, and or they can push this far even. They can try to take Francorchamps. Or they can try to go here. Because right now Knittel is the only one that would be pushing through this highway. Well, I don't think Knittel is gonna be pushing that direction all the time. It's gonna be going back here, over there. So I think I'm gonna... I think I know what I want to do. I want to send... This hex concerns me if we move so close to the artillery. And I'm gonna leave dealing with these guys. Well, I don't know who is gonna deal with these units. Because somebody has to. I think it has to be the leg infantry that does that kind of heavy lifting. So I'm gonna be... I know that we can get up to here, but then this hex is kind of scary. But then we would get in here. How much fuel? 509. 440. This is much less fuel consumed. Do it like this. Yeah. And then into the light forest. Good. So now we can, like, when these guys try to retreat, we are here waiting for them in the heavy forest. I think destruction of these units is gonna be this 5th Fallschirmjäger regiment that is gonna be in charge of that. Maybe I need to assign some of these Volksgrenadiers to contribute to the destruction. But okay, let's first check these out. So we have this kind of situation. They have regained their readiness here. Scattered forces. it would require a couple of rounds of warfare fire, I think. That would do the trick. $114, $119. 3 to 1. Okay. It might be actually just 8 hexes away. So it might actually use Vespes too. But what is our recon here? 60 to 60. I would like to use the lighter warfares if possible. Not these 210s. The 150, but there's a lot of them in these, okay. So maybe this one can just shoot in here. The only point was to lower the readiness, nothing else. That was the whole idea of that. There's only 2 anti-tank guns based on our knowledge. And now we lowered the readiness, so we can quite safely take this position. $67. No, I'm gonna do it with this one unit. The pioneers can do it. Take it out. Okay. So 1 anti-tank gun was left alive. And a lot of trucks. I'm just thinking, should I waste my time on these guys? Should I even bother against them? Or is the main enemy in here? 26 readiness. These have quite high readiness still, these units. I would like to take them out. Let's do 1 barrage in here. Or where is that guy on map? How can it shoot from that far? I guess it can shoot from that far, so let's let it shoot. One bazooka, 1 truck, okay. not that effective. I think we need this panzer artillery to follow with the spearhead, so I'm gonna be moving it in here. I think the warfare attack will be much more successful. Anyways. Well, kind of mixed hits. But they are still hits. Everything counts. Tiger 2s. They could contribute in here. I'm just thinking, should I put the Stux to attack in here? If I really want to even attack there. I'm not even sure. Do I want to attack there? Or am I happy with this current arrangement? It's just that this infantry is now open field. So I guess just because of that. And this is marshes. Thanks attacking in marshes, thanks defending in marshes. That's not that good. They have any kind of mortar fire that they can shoot on us. They have a couple of mortars here, okay. So our recon is 56 on these guys. We could do a simple probe. Or we can just first barrage them and then... I think the barrage sounds like a good idea. There's one howitzer in here, okay. Let's do one barrage in here. Oh, 70 men lost. 70 men lost in that. That was devastating. About a second warfare attack. And there wouldn't be anything left though. So maybe it's better to conserve ammunition. We have more panzer artillery in here. I guess so, we do a direct attack. Take them out. Yeah, they capitulated. Only one round of combat. I was expecting that we take them out, but I didn't know. Didn't really know what kind of result to expect. Okay, that's my timer. I'm gonna move a couple of more moves in here and that's it. Yeah, I want to neutralize these tank destroyers. I also have to make a final call about these. The Tigers Tigers shouldn't be spending their time, wasting their time there, that's for sure. Maybe I take the tigers and stooks together. Maybe that's the right call. Or the stooks go here. Piper comes in. Can we load more barrages in this position? Yes, we can. Where is this artillery on map? It's in this sector. No, I don't want to use that artillery. We would need those AA guns in here. So having Piper in actually would make sense. Concentric attack modifier, we would need somebody who... So it would really need to be this Panzer regiment that is helping with the attack, I think. It kind of calls for it. Yeah, the rest will have to go this way. Marshes, and this is plains. I'm gonna move the Panthers. I'm also willing to... This will give us a better recon on this, so I'm gonna move the Pioneers in here. Okay, we now know that this is an engineer unit. That's completely fine by me. Can we get Hetzers? No, they are a little bit too far away to contribute. Flak guns, everything is a little bit too far away from the city. 57. Team Kraus can. These are elite Panzer Grenadiers. I think they could be extremely useful. $22, $50, $21. Yeah, but they can't move. Okay, so they can't actually attack. Probably that they don't have enough half trucks. Unit, let's check the unit weight carry. Motorization chance is 0%. Unit replacement. Okay. I'm gonna give it a priority. Priority replacement. I want those half trucks to be designated in here so this actually becomes motorized again. Because right now that it's moving on foot, even though it has 22 half trucks. Just that's crazy. I'm also willing to like send those pioneers away. About this unit, their weight, carry capacity. They can carry these many men. The weight that they can carry. Okay, so they have a lot of extra. So in that respect, could I move? I wanna try this out now. This would be the first time I'm doing this. So move them together in here. Micro. So I'm gonna take the Panzergrenadier Regiment and is it then the Kampfgruppe Kraus? Because I want to move those pioneers. Target selected. Target list is... So this is from Kraus. I want to send those 80 to the Panzergrenadier unit. How does this work now? Source list unit is Kraus. No target toy match, no toy match. Okay, let's do it the other way around then. Cancel. Micro. Let's take those Opel Blitzes. Like 4, and I want to put them on Kraus. I have to apparently reselect them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Opel Blitzes. I'm taking 4 Blitzes away. How will my carrying capacity change? I just can't. Transfer selection is valid. Transfer. Did it do it? Yeah, it did. So Kraus has now they have those 4 blitzes. And I think we need more of those. Okay, it took all of the Krauses. They can't move anymore because they received stuff. That's good. That's important to know. Okay. I forgot that rule, but now it's okay. But I'm gonna be sending more. I'm gonna send 4 more. I have to first pick the target unit, which is Kraus. And you're gonna be taking 4 more blitzes. Transfer. And then cancel. And now they have unit weight and carry capacity. They have 444 carry. The weight that they can carry is 82, which is more than the 51 that is required, and manpower 441. And in this one, I think we can give them a couple more extra, because otherwise, you know, one combat, you lose 4 trucks and that's it. So target is Kraus again, and it's 4 more blitzes. Transfer, cancel. Yeah, now they have enough wiggle room. That's excellent. Yeah, so now you know how to transfer units like trucks. Because it's Kampfgruppe, it can basically eat all kind of equipment. But if it was something else, probably wouldn't be that easy. we just gonna move in here? Just chilling and then attack from 3 sides against these guys? I think so. And then we're gonna reserve the artillery against these guys. Yeah. Gonna do a group movement. And I'm gonna be doing a normal movement in here. And I want to see what kind of odds can you give me. 100 to 1. Using those King Tigers. 100 to 1 odds, oh my god. Yeah, I think we need a complete destruction of this enemy unit, so let's do 100 to 1. I want to see 21.9 thousand is our combat value. That's so yeah, that's okay. Let's do it. Retreating. They couldn't retreat. They were just obliterated, and we still are left with some movement. We can maybe attack this guy. $62 movement cost. Yeah, Piper is now here in a vulnerable position unless we kind of help him out with these tanks, so Panzer Grenadiers in here. They would have 6 buck guns. I don't know what would 6 buck guns do against this many heavy targets. I think we kind of need that. We need that kind of heavy attack here. Four to 1 odds only. Only 4 to 1. So give me the best odds. Yeah, this is reducing our effectiveness. So 4 to 1 is apparently the best I can do. It's not really great though. Some of these units will break, but some of these will fight quite hard, I assume. I didn't want to use this artillery, I wanted to reserve it against soft targets. Like in here, but I guess we have enough. But here, this would help, actually. Can we have anything else than 50 movement? Yeah, we could use this guy to probe. Yeah, it's the same. Oi. They lost a lot of equipment. And they've been hit now. Two buck guns lost. I just thought that we could bring them and they would do the probing. But I don't think that's a possibility anymore. I would rather use maybe something like this strong of a barrage. So how entrenched were they? They are quite entrenched. "50 men lost." Yeah, they still have over 100 entrenchment. Yeah. I'm not a fan of that. We could use the Sturmabteilung. Take care of it. One more barrage, I think we need it here. Just do it. Take these guys too. Two trucks, not really effective. Troop movement. $13.3k to 507. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, they retreated. We lost one Brumbar. Sturmpanzer. Well, finally we were able to use them, so. We could pursue them, but we don't have enough to actually attack them. These guys could move the hell out of here. And then do I do this fateful decision to attack in these marshes? Yeah, -50 landscape modifier. A lot of their units have also that -50 defensive modifier, so this is not really a tank friendly terrain at least, so you know, the alternative is that we just leave this as a strong point. We stay in Robertville and we don't engage with this position at all. That's completely possible, because if we attack them, we will push them backwards. I don't know how far can they get. They try to retreat from here. So I'm also kind of thinking about that kind of approach. Okay, double enemies in here. I think I'm gonna do it, that I'm gonna leave it completely open. And I'm gonna put this Volksgrenadier guy here. The Pioneers and Piper can hold this position by themselves. I don't need to be there. Stukabteilung should get up. The Panthers, not really sure. Should the King Tigers also fall back a little bit. They are in planes though. Hunters can go here, but they can't attack with 17. It's not enough. Not enough to do a proper attack. But yeah, I'm not gonna be sacrificing my units against these. I think artillery and Werfers in the long term can handle that situation. I'm gonna be moving my Werfers up here. These guys, I think, up here. I'm gonna be moving infantry well, this is now a little bit problematic. Yeah, the only way to get here would be go across. I'm not sure what kind of unit is in here, so it's kind of difficult to adjust my units accordingly. I would like to go into this light forest, but I'm just worried that we get intercepted. I just hope we don't get intercepted. We didn't. Okay. Room bars. Go there too. So we are ready to attack from two sides the next day. Yeah. Gonna stay here just in case. Move them over there. About this unit. Yeah, it's missing. Missing also. They are just over over the limit. Could I find some units? Well, this, for instance, this has a lot of carrying power. So I'm going to do the micro. I'm gonna assign them those trucks. And the target is the Panzer Grenadier Regiment. Opel Blitz. They can only get one. Reinforcement maximum 13. Okay. So they can get mostly just half trucks. And I'm gonna take all of those half trucks that they have to offer. Transfer. And check it out. They have 695. So the carry is now sufficient, but for the weight, but for the manpower it's not sufficient. Okay. Well, can we fix it so that we just move from the Grenadiers into this? Take like 20 men out and put them on the other unit. Say 30 men out. $695 carry manpower 7 3 5. Okay. So we need to still take 40 men out basically. That's okay. We can take 40 men out. Transfer. Carry manpower. Exactly. Okay, that solves it. So yeah, we can do this kind of micromanagement. We have to start doing that. I haven't done that before. So that's kind of interesting. I think I still have a few minutes, but I'm always going over time. I want to keep the videos under 2 hours. That's my like the bare minimum rule that I currently have. I don't think we can attack even if we take the high ground, because attacking from high ground takes some extra movement. So sadly we have to maybe consider doing the probe with the pioneers, or we can just use the forward unit if we want to do probing anyways. I think we do, because that's just such a useful thing for artillery to score better hits. So, and we want to clear this out, this unit with minimum resistance, so then we can get our hands on the artillery. And that would also effectively cut these guys out. Well, they are already cut out from supply, if you think about it. Well, technically they can get supplies through these woods, but I don't know, is it logistically possible? Because there are no roads. I don't think it is possible. Let's do the probe like this so we avoid the artillery shelling us. Okay, 0 losses. That was really good probe. We got recon now 68. And we can start the shelling. Maybe we start off with these 3. So 80 men taken out. 140 left alive, readiness went down. Really good stuff. We had really good rolls for that bombardment. Let's try to exploit the situation a bit more. So let's check out those positions. This artillery is in here. I think we can use it. And then I would like to have one Werfer. Okay, really high losses again. 40 men, and we halved their amount of mortars that they have. We took out their only... no, we didn't take their only anti-tank gun. It was the other. They have 2. Yeah, I think I'm maybe doing an overkill if I do one more barrage. I think I could. I maybe could do it. What are the combat odds now for these guys? 4-1. 4-1. I might want to keep the pioneers in here. They are covering our northern flank. Or I can also take them with us. Yeah, I think I want still one more barrage. They have so many bazookas, so they might do actually some damage. Yeah, let's use the Werfers. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Really good Werfer attack. 8-1. Do it. They retreated. They managed to take out one Jagdpanzer. They lost only 10 men. Most of their equipment is gone though. So it's now only about this. All is about this city position. Could we get this guy in here without losing a lot of men? We could disrupt the artillery. So let's do one more Werfer attack. These guys have not a lot of equipment, but I think they could still do it. The artillery will try to fire back. Counter battery fire. Okay. We didn't have fire from unknown source against us. Didn't do any damage. Well, it's a rural town position. No, recon is also low. But at least maybe that fire disrupted them. Okay, there is a third unit in there. Could I open another angle of attack? I maybe could have with those units, but I had to do that. Had to reassign those trucks. What about this unit? Yeah, this guy is also lacking trucks. So many of our units are lacking trucks. I'm not really sure what should I do. Should I like completely take some out and just like accept that not everybody can have them? For instance, these pioneers, do they really need these Maltiers? Putting these Maltiers to this unit. would actually help significantly. So the pioneer sends to Panzergred. No toe match. Not even the Maltiers. Yeah, well, it's a Wehrmacht to SS unit, so it doesn't work out, I guess. Has to happen within the branches. $31. I'm not sending the Hetzers for a city attack. That's not my style. Not result in anything good. 60, 52, 44. 44 we could actually do a proper attack. 26. I'm confident that we can take these 2 units out, but what is the 3rd unit? I need to know what is the 3rd unit. I guess I have to do a probe so I know what is in there. But if I do the probe with that unit, I'm not having infantry. Unless this unit is able to move in there. I'm gonna do a probe. We lost 30 men. That was a very expensive probing. Okay, it's just a rear area unit. Okay, they are just highly entrenched rear area units. I have to take the pioneers in this because the pioneers are good for lowering entrenchments, and these guys have 177, so they might be a painful enemy to fight against. We could actually barrage this. We have very insufficient amount of ammunition for this, but I think we could do it. Okay. Massive losses. That was really nice. And I'm still taking the pioneers though. I'm not doing this without them. No, it's better with the infantry support, even though these would have more. Yeah, definitely. How about without any other flanking attacks? No, I think we. Does it matter what is the order of these? It was 7-1. Now it's 7-1 again. Okay, so I don't think it matters. But it just changes something the way how the odds are calculated. Attacker won, so 1 capitulation, 2 retreats. And we had pretty successful like average attacks, like 3 rolls for attack values. Yeah. He didn't lose a single thing. So I'm calling it a really successful attack. Now this is the scary part, you know. Oh yeah, we could have moved here. It would have been only 8 movement cost. Ranged attack, we can't do. How about these guys now? 61. Ranged attack, same story. I'm gonna put the pioneers back where they were. They lost their entrenchment, but that sometimes happens. We have very low readiness with the tanks. But I think we have a good chance of wiping these guys out. Sadly, we can only get these guys for a ranged attack. And I don't recommend doing any artillery against heavy woods. That's just not effective. Not effective, so... I think we want to sneak up a little bit in these woods. So I'm gonna do that kind of movement. Pioneers. Yeah, we have to start thinking about the future movement of these units. Do we need more firepower against Rotken in the north? Or should our general focus start shifting against Eupen? Take this highway, try to push through these marches as fast as possible. And then Eupen would be waiting for us in here. It would be a bigger encirclement. Nine to 1. Is our recon above the height value? It is. Because all I'm just thinking that what if there's a hidden unit in here? Like, I don't want to walk into a trap. $46. One unit can maybe go there. Or maybe I should have sent it in this highway though. Well, it's okay, we can regroup and think how we want to approach this. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, okay. One of them capitulated, one is still alive, one wants to fight. And now the movement cost in this hex is 22 because there was some combat. Heavier the combat, the more expensive the movement to the hex is. We need some artillery support against those guys in the next turn. This turn we can't really do much. Yeah, but okay. we still have some movement to do here in the north. The enemy withdrew their line. They were basically getting hammered there constantly. I'm gonna do the last thing that I wanted to do. All out attack against these tank hunters. But before that I'm gonna move the HQ a little bit closer so we get the maximum benefit from the command. We could also give these guys, I'm not gonna give any cards. I think they are good enough to handle this. $25-1. Attack. So we lost 40 men, 1 Panzerschreck, 1 Hetzer. Enemy lost most of their equipment. And there was some supporting mortar fire that probably killed the infantry. So I don't think those tanks would have been able to take us out. But yeah, that's about it, and see you then in the next stream. Hope you enjoyed this. I think the campaign is progressing rather well and it is interesting. And even though it says that we are getting a major victory in the latest patch, which I'm now currently playing on, but it didn't update these values, so 200 is considered now the limit for Axis major victory. But yeah, the game might actually even update it when I run the next turn. But yeah, see you then in the next one. Bye.